Awesome. So, Baz, my friend, we should be live. How you doing, Baz?
I'm good. How are you doing? All
All
right.
good, all good, all good. People, as usual, I don't know if you can hear us, see us, and blah blah blah. Baz, Sunday night. What do we talk about today? What's on today's radar? You let me know. You let me know what we're talking about today. Oh wait, that's okay. Yeah, what's on today's radar? Uh, have people stopped talking about prismatic, or they're still ranting about it?
I think that so prismatic is obviously the hot new topic on the block. Everyone's talking about it. I've done videos on it. I'm sure loads of other people have done. Um, I think the general talk right now on prismatic is the fact that the prices are sort of dropping. But it's interesting because I've been looking at the market to see what like ETBs are selling. Let me just close the Discord, otherwise these notifications are going to keep going off.
Oops. Yeah, that might have been me.
It might be me as well because I had Discord open.
Yep,
Um,
yep.
And you can see prices are starting to stabilize at around $100, $105, and I think that's probably going to continue into the next few months. In the UK, the standard ETB has actually come down a little bit, so they're looking at around between 70 and 80 pounds each. So I think the talk is just the fact that prices are going to crash. I mean, when something's gone up 100%,
Yeah,
well, actually
yep.
200%, and then it's dropped 30-40%, has it really dropped? You're still paying way above MSRP for the product. And I think also a lot of people got caught off guard thinking that a reprint meant it's going to happen anytime now. But that's not going to happen for a significant amount of time. Any reprint that's going to happen is going to take months, if not a year or more. And I think a lot of people that heard about this just started opening ETBs and product. And I don't know whether that's going to end up being to their detriment. But I think
Yep.
that opening products straight away on the back of news of a reprint, not always the smartest thing, because that could be a very long time. It might not be the product you think it's going to be. So my most recent video, which is doing quite well, actually. Sorry.
Hello, people. Can you? Is it me? Was it Bess? Hello, Bess. You're back. Was it me? Was it you?
I don't know.
I think for once it might have been you, but all good now.
Are we
All good
good?
on my end. Yep.
Is my internet okay? Let me just double check.
But all good, all good.
Okay.
But you know what? What about prismatic? I've been monitoring because I am getting data for both the ETB and the evolutions, and the Umbreon won't drop below 1,000, which is understandable.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what? Also, we know that. I mean, it's been announced that we're gonna get a massive reprint of Terrestrial, so the Japanese counterpart.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like even with, I mean, I genuinely hope the reprint is gonna be massive, so I can buy into it. But I feel like just most people are just gonna buy the Japanese version because it's cheaper, it's more fun. You got guarantee hit, and I feel like that's just what's gonna happen. You're just gonna buy that. Because I mean,
Yeah.
you buy an EDB for €100, $100, I don't know, 80 pounds, 90 pounds, and then you can, for the same, let's say for the same price, if it doesn't drop, because right now it's the same price, you get a Japanese box, which it's basically the same amount of packs, but you have a guaranteed SAR.
Is it 10 packs in a box?
Yep.
Okay, so it's a high class set basically.
Yep, and you get a guarantee SAR.
So
at least you're
like
gonna pull
V-Star,
something.
VMAX, Climax, and V-Star Universe.
Yep.
Yeah, look, I mean, I spoke about this on my most recent video. It's doing quite well. I've got about 1,600 odd views now on there. That I kind of spoke about the fact that, and I mean, it's not revolutionary information, but we know that, and I've done it myself, where when it's hard to get hold of English product, I will look at the Japanese counterpart because it's just cheaper. It's just way more affordable. The pull rates, depending on the type of set that it is going to be better because obviously, as you said, in Terrasso Festival, you're guaranteed SAR
Yep.
in each box. Oh yes, there are a lot of SARs, but at least you're guaranteed one. With the ETBs, for example, in Prismatic, you're not guaranteed anything. The pull rates seem to be a lot tougher, and it's more value for money in terms of if you like the artwork and you like the card itself, and you're not too worried about it being in a Japanese language or English language.
Yep.
Japanese product is actually a really fun product to open, and it's also like for the people that like opening just for the sake of opening. It's probably a way more enjoyable, fun pack opening experience because you're going to open that box. You have the chance of pulling an Umbreon. You might pull the Umbreon EX, but even if you don't, you're still going to pull a good number of decent cards, including an SIR, right? Or SAR, should I say.
Yep.
So from that perspective, by and large, I know we talk about investing and we talk about collecting, but we are a very small, I mean, we're in our own little echo chamber of the market, prices, availability. We're looking at all these different data points and metrics, right, to make decisions on what to invest in.
Yep. Some would say too many.
Yeah, exactly. Too many. But the point is that we are in our own little echo chamber where we live in this vacuum of all of this data and information, and we like the hobby and we enjoy Pokemon, but we look at it as a way of making some potential gains in the future, right? So because we live in this echo chamber, for us, it's like these things are just common, yeah. And like we probably are not the kind of people that enjoy opening a lot of product all the time anyway, because we know how expensive it can be over a long period of time and how much of a waste it can be, right? So because we're like such a small section of the hobby that actually looks at all this data, and we think everybody is like us, but the reality of the matter is, and the fact of the matter is that most people that enjoy this hobby
they just want to open.
They just want to
go.
They
just want to open the packs.
They just want to open the packs.
It makes sense. I mean, at the end of the day, just if you want to invest into a box, just a set, a box, whatever, just get something people enjoy opening.
Yep.
So as we got a question here from Ellen, and as you said, are you sure you're not estimating how many people actually want the Japanese one? And he's talking, as you said, from a EU perspective, which as we were talking about last time with Pokemon, the Japanese expert from based in the UK, like yourself, Bess. There's, I mean, there's no confirmed data, but there's a sense that there's more European or Europeers into Japanese than there's Americans. So Japanese is actually more sought after in the EU and the UK, so Europe, continental Europe, than the US, mainly because continental Europe has their own languages, and some languages such as French and Italian are really expensive, much more expensive than the English counterpart. So Japanese is a viable and cheap option. So
yeah, I think
are we not overestimating? Or are we overestimating?
I don't know. I don't think we are overestimating. I think the natural thing is that most people that collect or open Pokemon product know that there is English and there is Japanese. When people can't get English, what's the next best thing? It's Japanese. What's cheaper? In fact, I mean, I can't talk for everybody across the globe, but I was on Whatnot, right? So I have my own personal experience about like the rip and ship kind of side of the market. And I wasn't the best Whatnot ripper on.
You were just selling. You were just selling weighted packs. So nothing.
Yeah, I just weighed all the packs. I scanned them 3 years before anybody knew that they were being scanned.
Yeah,
I was doing.
You went to the hospital.
Yep, I was doing the energy break scams as well on people.
No, but the MRI.
Yeah, definitely straight through the MRI machine, calibrated to perfection, so that I could see what the third to last card was on the vintage packs, and what the
Yeah, yeah. I
second to
mean,
last card was in
how
Stars
do
of Wallet.
people think you could afford 10 cases of 151?
151 exactly, bro. They just that
That
was all
that
that scam money.
that's how you make the business, man. Wow.
But
Anyways,
having
sorry. Go ahead. Just wanted to let people know.
I was chilling for a killing, yeah. I was grifting and then I was heavyweight lifting. That's what I was doing. But sorry. So what I was saying is that because I was on Whatnot and I was watching, I was doing it myself, but I was also watching what the other larger streamers were doing, right? And if they could do English, they do English. Of course, most people would buy the
Yep.
English product. Where they couldn't do English, then what they would do is they would look for Japanese. Now, Japanese 151 on Whatnot sold like crazy, bro. I sold it and I was new. There were guys that were on the platform for more than a year, 2 years, and they were literally, bro. They would go through multiple cases a night, uh, just in a matter of time, a very
Mhm.
short space of time. They would literally go through cases and cases and cases. They would do something called rip till you hit, right? So people would buy that, and guess what would happen once they run out of Japanese? They would go to Korean
Green. Yeah. Yeah. But
because
I
that
mean,
was even cheaper,
yeah.
right? So I don't think we're overestimating it by saying that um, would go to Japanese when, especially when English is difficult to find, and those people want to rip those boxes open. Um, Good to see you, Promptu, by the way.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think it's just natural. Like, when you want the product is super hot, you can't get the English, you go to Japanese. You can't get Japanese, you go to Korean. There's people here in the UK that have built businesses. I don't know about in the EU or in America. There's people have built businesses on selling Korean. Poke.ne. I know
Yep.
this
Is
is
into
I'm
Korean
talking
as
about the
well.
States.
Yeah.
Poke.ne sells Korean booster boxes. So if that guy who's doing multi millions of dollars is doing Korean, there must be a reason why he's doing it because there's some kind of
Yeah.
demand. He's not dumb. He's not going to order Korean product and just have it sitting on his shelves. Clearly, there must be a reason for why he's buying this. Um, yeah. So I don't think we're overestimating. I mean, I'm a guy that likes Japanese as well. I bought two Roaring Moon EXs today.
Japanese
From
from
Terrestrial. From Terrestrial. Yeah. The SAR.
what? Why did you get the Japan just for the PC? Bez busy. Just for
Sorry.
the
Sorry.
PC. Did you just buy them for the PC or you saw
No, so I
potential in
bought
those?
them because I think there's potential for them to go up. So I'll show you which one it is that I bought. Show you my eBay.
Interesting. How much did you pay for them?
Uh, um, Probably more than I should have. I paid 20. This one here.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Um, that's the Roaring Moon. Yeah. So that's the from Terrestrial Festival. But two. This one was 22. I'm not gonna dox myself, but this one was £22. I think it's amazing value for that money. And the other one I paid uh, this one here.
Yep.
I paid 24 for this.
Wonderful. Okay. Yeah. I guess we'll find. I mean, um, I've been looking at the singles from Terrestrial. I mean, prices have gone up since release, and now they're kind of settling down. I'm just waiting, as I was saying, and hoping, mainly hoping for the reprint to be big. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see multiple waves. Um, but I mean, if it is huge, I think there's going to be a great opportunity in the Umbrian. I mean, basically all the evolutions, especially the Umbrian from Terrestrial, so the Japanese evolutions. Because if there is a master reprint, so that injects fear into the market. It's gotta be like a Vista Universe type of a size, because I've seen it with and we're seeing it. I mean, I've seen the like the outcome of a massive Vista Universe reprint, what it has done to singles. Think about that. The Giratina was sitting at like 70 to 80 euros from Distor Juniors, and the Arceus in the mid 40s
Yeah, they were
for
cheap.
the longest time. Now Giratina is like 150, and Arceus also 2x like 100. And there's, if I'm not mistaken, Vistor Universe is the most graded card set from the Sword and Shield era in either English or Japanese. It's the most graded one. It might, to be honest, it might be even be more great, like the most graded Pokemon set. Probably more than a base set.
V-Star Universe.
If you look at the, I mean, let me just do it. But it's something crazy that makes you think like, I mean, let me just look at the number. But then you'd be like,
if you look at the
how is
PSA
it
pop
possible
reports,
these singles are
they
going up?
ridiculous.
There's so many.
Yeah, it is true. If you look at the singles, the pop reports, I was looking at the PSA pop report for the Giratina,
Okay, so get this.
and I'm sure it's close to 20,000.
Vista Universe. You know what's, and this is just graded, right? So there's, imagine how many raw singles there are. 489,630. Almost 500,000. So you get the idea of how much that set was. Now, I mean, almost every hit of this unit is a banger, so you want to get it graded. Makes sense. But that also needs to be taken into account. But think about it, man. And that's what I want to see. I want to see, I mean, that's the way I like to make plays. I want to see huge supply entering the market and get into something that I know had demand, such as Terrestrial Festival. So that's the way I try to make plays. I first want to see demand, supply, or either if it's not this on supply side, I want to see demand going away, so into something else. Because if I know there was supply at one point and I see that through the data, that's how I can tell there was supply. Oh, sorry, there was demand at some point because there's supply going down at some point. Then I know there's, let's say, I can smell opportunity. Let's say that. Sorry for the rant.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So we're obviously, so just to come back to Japanese in general, I think is it's a viable option, especially for people that want to open packs at a good cost. Helium, hello. D Legend, hello.
Yeah, just hello everyone. But stay here because we're gonna have an announcement, right, Bess? Soon.
Do you want to do that now, or do you want to wait?
I just give the people a few, I'd say 10-15 minutes. Let's have them cooked. But
Okay.
yeah, there's gonna be a pretty interesting and exciting announcement, people. You're gonna like it. You're gonna like it. So, what do we have here? LM goes on with maybe just going with wrong people. Whenever Japanese comes up, I'm hearing that they're not interested. The class, so I can read the. I heard that before, but not from an European.
Yeah, I think that some people make that excuse, but I think we're living in a day and age where everybody knows every single card, and unless you're in it to play the game or you're building decks, it doesn't really matter. The artwork's the same, and you can just look at Japanese SAR prices compared to the English SIR counterpart prices. It's vastly different, you know. So and the reason that is because the boxes are at more affordable prices, and there tends to be better availability. I mean, you can still pick up Terrestrial Festival boxes. They're not cheap, but you can pick them up quite readily. But go and try to find, prismatic ETBs. It's just, you can still get them, but they're just crazy expensive. So what do? You just go and you pick up something that's easy to find, and you know you're definitely going to get a hit. And everybody knows all the Pokemon now. Maybe 10 years ago, that was an issue where people were like, oh, I can't read the cards. Everybody knows every single Pokemon nowadays, whether it's in Japanese or English. So,
and especially if it's a hit, like if most likely a hit is going to be like a Giratina, Lugia, Charizard, Arceus, whatever, Dialga. So they're like popular Pokemon. So Umbreon, the evolutions. So it makes sense. People actually know.
There's
And
an interesting question here on from Helium.
yeah, just let me
Yeah,
finish on please, Bess. Just
yeah.
also what I want to say is I see it through the data. Japanese sales. So probably just the wrong. I mean, just people that are not interested. But I see through the data, Japanese sales. One thing, and I made a video about it. I'm shilling it because I want to, but it's actually true. Vista Universe, it is selling. It is now moved towards 110, but there's not much supply. So if you actually want to buy a large position, let's say 15 plus boxes, you need to go into the 120s, which is basically what the Japanese price. So right now there's people just selling it at a discount, just probably just want to take profits or get rid of it or whatever. But it is selling. It is selling. So yeah, just wanted to take that. All right. Hi Daniel. Good to see you, man. Good to see you on the channel. We'll have you soon. No worries. You're always welcome. But yeah, let's pop Yu-Gi-Oh everywhere. That's absolutely true. That's absolutely true. Just we gotta shill some Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Gotta do our job.
To the moon, bro. Just tell me what
To
to
the
buy
moon.
before it goes to the moon.
Yeah, just let us know what you're buying. Just let us know what you're buying. So there you go. Helium, thoughts on it's now PE Prismatic Evolutions, no longer
Yeah,
Paldea Evolved.
I don't think it's Powder Evolved anymore.
Yep.
This is hijacked the name. Is there an announcement that there's going to be a UPC?
Oh, UPC. Oh,
I
right.
don't know if there's a UPC or not, but I'd be very surprised if there isn't. I mean, all of the sets that have come out, the specialty sets have had. I mean, with 151, if they did a UPC, then I can't imagine they're not going to do one with a Paldea Evolve. I haven't heard any official news. I've spoken to my distributors. They haven't mentioned anything, but it's likely there will be a UPC. I mean, if there is one, great. Tell us in the chat down below. But yeah, if there's a UPC, buy it. If you can get it at good prices, buy it. Okay, so there is according to Poke Beach. Yeah, but if there's a UPC and you can get it at below whatever the MSRP is.
Oh yeah, releasing in November.
Okay,
so but it says Ultra Premium Collection releasing in November, 18 booster packs.
18.
Does it say which? Oh wait, sorry, 2020. Wait, no, sorry, never mind. UPC terrestrial. Never mind, wrong article.
Wrong article. I think Helium was saying 26th of September.
Festival.
So we're still 8 months out. So yeah. Look, guys, look at what's happened to the 151 in UPC. I don't think it's going to be a bad if you're asking about investing. Of course, pick up a UPC, pick up two, pick up a case, pick up more cases if you can afford them. I'm dumb. I ripped multiple 151 UPCs. I mean, there was one. I've moved the backdrop that I used to have with the Pokemon boxes. There's one just sitting there that was open by myself.
So let's just share the screen. So I found it. There we go. Share screen. Yes. Resolution. There you go. All right, people. So let's see. Yeah, I should be able to. By the way, people, am I like frozen?
You're fine now. You were frozen.
Well, I don't. God, I apologize, people. I don't know what's happening. It's probably my internet. I'll make sure it won't happen again because I know you guys want to see my pretty handsome face. It's understandable.
pretty handsome face.
Okay, so ignore
not fully handsome, just pretty handsome.
Pretty handsome, yeah.
69.69% handsome.
Yeah, I gotta be humble.
A little humble, yeah.
Okay, so it's called Super Premium Collection, which is I don't know, makes me laugh. So 15 packs.
So you get less packs than a 151 UPC, but it's super premium.
Release.
That's crazy.
Oh God. Release on May 16th. We surprised the fruit. Oh, there you go. We have the fruit Eevee promo.
The fruit bowl Eevee, yeah.
Yeah. Sleeves, blah blah, deck box, code card. Just need to release it. Surprise. Okay. Oh, interesting. So yeah, it sounds like they are doing what they. Oh wait, they're doing
Bring
what
up.
they promised. They're just gonna print a ton of it, and hopefully this added product will be like one of the ways they're gonna inject it into the market.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I've been saying. I don't think there's going to be a huge restock reprint of the ETBs. They will just sell other products, you know. But look, people learn from 151, right? And this is the reason why I say it doesn't matter how much stock they put out, it will get swallowed up because of the fact that people saw what happened with Evolving Skies. They saw what happened with 151. Those UPCs in America and Costco were sitting there at $80 a pop, and
Yep.
people didn't want them. So people have now seen that that's happened, and they're not going to take the risk and the chance again with prismatic evolutions. And that will continue to drive the market, I think. By the way, I just wanted to come back to something what Helium said. He said, I don't know the name of 700 of the 1K Pokemon, but you enjoyed them nonetheless. My point was, bro, in this day and age, everybody knows the chases. Okay?
Yeah.
Everybody knows the chase. You don't need to know all 1,000, and there's more than 1,000 now, right? You don't need to know all 1,050 Pokemon names, but we all know what the chase is in Japanese, what the chase is in English. We all know, even if we're looking at the Japanese cards. So that was kind of my point. It doesn't really matter which product it is.
So Robert's hints at the fact there's going to be a regular premium figure on September 26th.
Okay.
So even an
That,
additional. I mean, as I said, they said they're going to print it. They're going to make sure there's enough, and
there'll
it
be
looks
enough.
like.
There'll be enough supply, guys. They're gonna rinse Pokemon. The Pokemon Company International. They're here to make money. They're not a charity. They are not. They're a for-profit organization. They're going to want to make the money.
You
How
know,
do they
you
do
know,
that?
you know what's a perfect investment right now, as they're going to reprint prismatic,
What?
some lost origin blisters.
Oh, Fusion Strike blisters as well.
if
I've got
if
a.
if you guys want some, just message me, private message me on Discord. I'll make sure I'll make you in touch with someone who has just enough.
Oh, and Fusion Strike as well. I've got a few.
Yeah.
Barrett's got a few as well.
Uh,
Um, there was another question here. Somebody said something about. Did you guys watch the latest video from Rudy?
oh, I haven't, sadly,
I
because I've
watched
been
it.
busy this weekend.
I watched it. And I think he was talking about ETBs settling at around. It's very similar to what I said. I'm just glad I said it before Rudy said it. In my investing predictions video that I put up a couple of days ago. And he basically said that they're going to stay and hover around that sort of price, and he can't see the market slowing anytime soon. The cycle, we're about 3 to 6 months into that cycle, and it's probably going to last 2 to 3 years. So it'll probably take us beyond the 30th anniversary. And I'm glad. I mean, I'm no Rudy, but clearly not. But he was talking about how it's likely that everything is just going to just go crazy to the moon. He was calling this a super cycle. Yep, yes, you're correct, Helium. And yes, this is exactly my thoughts. My thoughts are that everything is just going to go absolutely mental, bananas, bonkers for the next 12 months, all the way through into the 30th. And then maybe, I mean, he thinks it's going to go beyond that, which it probably will. But this actually made me think about something very important. It's not a bad time, perhaps, if we see this madness for the next. I mean, Shrouded Fable is being pumped now.
Yep.
Everybody's going out
Yep.
and buying
Oh
Shrouded
yeah.
Fable.
Should talk about that probably.
And by the way, I've been saying for a while, Shrouded Fable is not a terrible set. I've been saying this. I've said it in the Discord on record. It's probably months ago. There
Black
are
and
a few. It's not a crazy amazing set, but it's not terrible either. There is I mean, I bought the Persian. I've got the Persian in English. I bought it in Japanese months ago. It's on my eBay. I've got the receipts. It's not just the Persian, the Houndoom as well.
pump it.
I like
Pump it.
I like the Monkey Dory. I like the Pheasantipede. I think these four are really decent cards. Yes, it's a small set. It's not a banger set, but nobody wanted Shrouded Fable while everything else was available. So even if that can be doing good in this market, everything else, there's sets that are so much more better overall, if we look at them as a whole, that are so much better than Shrouded, that this momentum, I believe, is just going to continue going further into 2025, mid 2025, maybe even 2026. But the point I'm trying to make is that perhaps it's not a bad time for people to start thinking about selling. Okay. If you've got multiples of specific booster boxes or ETBs, or you've got blisters, or you even have like singles you've picked up, maybe start thinking of actually realizing some investment profits. It's not about, I'm actually seriously thinking about sitting down with a spreadsheet and looking at my sword and shield and saying, okay, cool, I want to, if I've got a case of one box, so a case of one set, maybe I split it in half, I sell 3, I take my profits. At the moment, with some of the sets I have, I could sell three boxes of a case and I can clear 1,000 in one go. And I've still got 3 left. And then maybe just see what happens. But it's not a bad time, guys. If you have got stuff that's sitting around when the market is hot and it's liquid, it's not a bad time to offload.
Yeah, absolutely agree. Now, I think I'm frozen once again, but
you were fine for a few seconds, but
yeah, I don't. I have no idea. I mean, I'm deeply sorry, people. I apologize. You can't see my extremely handsome face.
People, you know what the problem is in Barrett's part of Italy, they don't have fiber optic broadband. It's dial-up connection. Ding 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 ding.
It's all zeros and ones.
It's that binary stuff, bro.
But I think it is time for our announcement, Bess. What do you say?
Yeah, let's do it. Should we make the announcement? Me and Barrett are basically splitting up forever. I'm joking.
This was the last one. It's been good. My imaginary girlfriend says we can. She can't take this no more. By the way, shout out if any woman is watching and wants to just get to know me. I'm also a person behind the super mega influencer. There's
beyond the mathematics. Beyond the mathematics,
there's a heart
and the nerdy intelligence.
Yeah,
there is a soft-hearted, lovely Italian romantic hidden in Barrett.
Exactly. Now this is turning into Tinder, and before it does so, oh god, let's do it. So it is with great pleasure that I introduce you, you people of YouTube, to. Wait, let me. Drum roll, please.
His Tinder profile is gonna come up, guys.
Yeah. What's your fix?
Don't put those pictures of you topless on there, Barrett.
Yeah. So just sorting through them. All right, people. So it is with deep pleasure that I introduce you to the Pokepean podcast. Now,
yay! Confetti!
Oh. So,
you took it off the screen so quickly.
Yeah, because I'm stupid. Sorry, I have too many things open. Okay, so what is the Pokepean podcast, Baz? Up to you.
Guys, the Pokepean podcast essentially is going to be a podcast where Barrett and myself, obviously we've been doing this on Barrett's channel, so nothing's going to change. It's going to be pretty much the same thing. What we do plan to do is bring together, and the reason we call it Pokepean, obviously European podcast about Pokemon, and we include the UK within that because geographically we are essentially European.
Yeah.
Not to say we're not going to talk about the US and Canada side of things, of course, if there's important topics, but there's already a bunch of people doing podcasts centric that are centered around the US and Canada. So what we want to do is do that, but do that for Europe and the UK, and talk about a lot of different things that Barrett's worked really hard at being able to build in terms of stuff with his Discord. So we've got the bots, we've got supply data, we've got how supply affects pricing, all these different things, but geared towards the European market. So we're going to have it a little bit more structured. I know currently we do our lives in a way where it's kind of off the cuff. We just have a conversation, two
Yep.
friends talking, and then we've got our friends in the chat talking, asking us questions. You're all beanbags, whether you like it or not, if you're watching me. But the point is that we're literally just a bunch of people, friends, just chilling and hanging out, talking. With the Pokepean podcast, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to try and give it a little bit more structure. So we talk about specific data points. Barrett's going to include stuff about supply data and how that affects pricing and opportunities that might be in the market, and our general overview, but we're going to structure it a little bit more. So we'll have sections within the podcast, and we'll try and keep it like we've been doing it every couple of weeks.
Yep.
And there'll be times where Barrett might have somebody live and I might not be here. There might be times where I might be having somebody live and Barrett
Yep.
might not be here. But essentially, it's our channel, and it's where we can do. It's essentially going to be our lives, and everything that been doing on Barrett's channel, we're going to have it separated here, and it's going to be structured. Now, that's not to say that Barrett's not going to be doing lives on his channel either, and that's not to say that I'm not going to be doing lives, because there's certain people that I will talk to, for example, potentially on my channel in the future in lives. That might not be like anything to do with like investing related, for example. So it might not be somebody who's an expert from like the European side or UK side. It could just be somebody talking about something. I mean, I don't know yet. But essentially, this is going to be our hub for all of you guys to come and enjoy watching us live, asking questions, us chilling, hanging out, but also having a really focused discussion on the European and UK markets, as well as our thoughts on a lot of the stuff that Barrett's been doing with, as I said to you, the data. And this is why I started doing this with Barrett exclusively, is because he's one of the only people on YouTube. I mean, I enjoy watching loads of people, but he's one of the only people on YouTube who I can talk to from a scientific, when I say scientific, a data statistical point of view, who actually knows what he's talking about and how that can point towards objective decision making when it comes to Pokemon investing. Because I'll be honest, I am the type of person, a lot of what I do is subjectivity. And although I've been quite, I'd say, fortunate and lucky that everything I've invested in has done well, I haven't sat down and actually done the math or looked at live or reoccurring data to drive my decisions. It's just been a sort of off instinct. And I think that's important to some degree when it comes to investing, because how do you decide something looks visually appealing, like a card, for example, right? Or like a set or a certain artist. The Shinji Kanda, the reason I was picking up not the Roaring Moon. Is it Roaring Moon EX, right?
Yep.
The reason I picked that is because I do like Shinji Kanda's that artwork. So, but I do think also that will do well. But when you add to that, the art is great, the artist is great, the card it looks really visually appealing. But you can then add that element from what Barrett does with the data. Then you can have a really objective way to make a decision and say, look, now we don't have to speculate. Well, it's all speculation anyway, but at least we have an objective way that we can look at something. So these are the kind of things we want to build our channel on, and hopefully we can do a lot of different things on there. I know Helium's asking, will we do live podcast rips? We could do rips. It depends if we can grow to a certain audience number, if we can get to where we want to get to. Look, our first and most important thing is we want to have fun. We want you guys to enjoy the podcast and chill out, right?
And subscribers, so you guys go subscribe to the channel.
Exactly. Anybody watching, please make sure you go and subscribe, support. But so we want to do that kind of stuff, but we also we want to do it and although numbers are not massively important to begin with, but we would like to, and we can only do rips and stuff like that when we've got enough people that are able to benefit from that. Like, I don't know if you're talking about, we do live rip and ships for people, or we just rip packs anyway. I've done that many times. Barrett's never, by the way, guys, Barrett's never going to do pack openings, right? I would have to pay him. I'll have to PayPal him. In fact, he doesn't even like PayPal because the exchange rates are crap. I've had this conversation with him. I'd have to like Venmo him or send him a direct bank transfer for him to do the
Yep.
rips. I have
Yep.
done rips. I have done packs, and we will do stuff. We'll do giveaways. We'll do, Barrett won't do it. I'll do it. Don't worry.
Yeah.
But
The beanbag king knows me.
the beanbag king knows.
At this point, it's basically my girlfriend.
But look, this is going to be basically European centric, mainly data driven, and we're going to still chill out and have a chat like we do here. But we'll have it a bit more structured. And then, in the future, if we've got enough people and people want to watch us rip packs, we haven't even thought that far ahead. All we've thought about and discussed is, let's start a channel where both of us can go live and all the people that we know can watch us together in one spot and one space. Then Barrett can continue doing his channel. He just continues doing his stuff that he does. I do the stuff that I do because our content's quite different. My content's not as much data driven. It's not as much statistical driven. It's just a lot of it's just my thoughts, and it's just very subjective. Whereas Barrett's stuff is not as subjective. But here we can bring, in this podcast, we can bring an element of both sides, because I have some business experience and obviously Barrett has the maths experience, and we can kind of amalgamate those together and build a community of people around that that can benefit from the content.
Well said. Well, I mean, I couldn't have said it better. So no surprise, but people, just subscribe, stay tuned. The first live might even be next week. Who knows?
Who knows?
There's only one way to find out, by subscribing, obviously.
If we get enough subscribers, we could do it multiple times a week.
yeah, could do that.
This is not a promise. There's not a promise. I'm just saying.
We'll definitely consider it. And all right, so that is set, and I'm pretty excited about it because I'm sure it's going to be fun. As Bas said, nearly nothing is going to change about how we do our lives. Just going to introduce a bit more, some more data. Just take as you said, an overall look at the market, and just to get an idea of basically just more structured. And we're just gonna have same fun as always, right, Baz?
Yeah, no, definitely, bro. And look, like I said, with structure, we're gonna we still haven't gone through all of the intricacies, but there'll be a focus. I can promise there'll be a focus on data. There will be a focus on a little bit of maybe stuff that we're looking at and buying or have bought, or some plays we've made. I'm happy to share some of the stuff that I'm doing. And then we can also have a little bit of focus on Japanese, and then a little bit of focus on English, so that those people that are more driven towards the Japanese side, they can look at the Japanese stuff, and those people who are more interested on English product, we can do that. And then actually the other good thing about the podcast, which we've both forgotten to talk about, is we also want to be able to, as part of the podcast, Barrett, take this, take the podcast thing off the screen. Let's just have our faces up, bro. I think people.
If I'm not frozen.
You're not frozen. The other thing as well, actually, we've both forgotten to mention, which we have discussed, is we would at some point also like to showcase European creators, content creators in the Pokemon space. So there are different content creators from other parts in Europe, that Barrett knows, a few that I know from different countries. But it'd be nice to showcase maybe some people from the German market, some people from Belgium, from Denmark, from Portugal, from Spain, wherever they are, Italy, wherever they are.
There can only be one Italian, man.
Yeah, of course, you're always going to be alpha. And no, you're actually you're not alpha. You're sigma. You're beyond alpha at this point. But no, seriously, we'd like to be able to showcase and actually, highlight and bring other European creators onto the podcast for them to share their local on-ground experience about what's happening. Because I'll be honest, I don't know what's going on in the German market. I don't know what's going on in the Portuguese market. I don't know what's going on in Belgium, for example, or Denmark, or Holland, or wherever. So it'd be nice to have people from different parts of Europe on at some point. And then, yeah, we can go from there. Thomas, good to see you, brother. How was your live? I know you were live earlier. Hope that was good. Barrett, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just
Okay,
frozen.
you're
I'm
frozen,
sorry.
but yeah, Prom2 actually just said time for Porsche to start the YT channel. So, guys, just for context, Porsche is one of the goats on the Discord. By the way, if you haven't already joined the Discord, what the hell are you waiting for? Join the bloody Discord. It's the link will be in Barrett's. We can
Yep.
put it down in the description, or it'll be in Barrett's channel.
It is in the description of this video.
Is it okay? So just join
Yep.
Discord. There's loads of really, really solid people in there. Porsche, Prom2 being obviously Prom2 is a goat. Porsche Design is a goat. Porsche is actually one of the people that helps us identify certain stock levels. So he's got like some scanners that will give you an idea of what sort of stock levels are on Pokemon Center, for example. So, you know, I was making videos about Fusion Strike all of last year. And then on the back end of 2024, coming into 2025, I kept telling people, buy Fusion Strike, buy Brilliant Stars, buy Fusion Strike, buy Brilliant Stars. Why was I making those videos? It's because we had access via the Discord through Porsche Design, who was able to provide us with. And he's not available 24/7, but very graciously, we would like, yes, please, sir. Can we please have Pokemon Center UK stock levels for whatever it is, Brilliant Stars, 3-pack blisters. And then when he had the time, he would do that for us. And then we could see whether it's not accurate. It's not fully accurate, but it gives you a really good indication between 2,000 and 5,000 3-pack blisters are there. So, you know, at this point that the supply is dwindling. So it's not a bad time to start coming in. So we've got people like that. So,
yeah. a bit of a spoiler. I talked to him previously. I will not say he won't ever come on the channel. That's all I'll say.
He won't.
No, I'm not saying that he won't. It won't ever come. So there is possibility. You guys will see him on the Pokepean podcast if you subscribe right now.
Hit that sub button. Go over to the channel. I think we'll leave by the way, if you're watching this retrospectively, not live, we'll leave a
shame
link
on
to
you, number one.
Yeah,
but
shame on
we
you
forgive
for not
you.
Watching.
We forgive you, and yep.
So there's going to be two really important things in the description. Number one is Monkey D. Luffy's Tinder profile.
Exactly.
And number two is going to be the link.
God. Oh God.
Number two is going to be the link to the Pokepean podcast. Yep. But yeah, it'd be good if you guys subscribe. Then we'll try. We will, and also if you're a creator, if you're somebody in Europe that does content about Pokemon investing or collecting, reach out to Barrett or myself, and
either of us.
Yeah, and we'll be able to. We've got it. We'll have an email address for the podcast in there anyway. It's just the Gmail address. Drop us an email or just contact one of us on socials, and we'll be happy to have you on the podcast to talk about where you are from and what the market's like where you are. I'm really excited, bro. Like I just want to know like what's the Japanese market like in Germany? I have no idea. Do you know?
It's actually. I mean, there's plenty of German sellers.
He's got all the answers. He's got. You're meant to say, "Bro, I don't know, man. I can't wait till we have somebody else."
Let's do it. Let's do it again. Let's start over. Ask again,
Barrett. I'm really intrigued because I don't know. Right? Huh? What's the German market for Japanese products like? Just it'd be nice to have a German creator on that can tell us.
Well, that's a pretty good question. I never thought of it, so I couldn't answer.
You're a crap liar, man. You've got all the data. This is the problem, people. Actually, it's not a problem. It's a good thing.
I know too much.
He knows too much. He has all the data. So
and
join the Discord. Money. Yes, join the. Well, the thing is, the money can be arranged, but the problem is that
I'm working on the women now, as you probably noticed.
Oh gosh, but, Barrett's a lady killer.
Quietly, sorry. Yeah, I'm. It's usually the other way around, but I'm the victim. I'm a sweetheart. I'm a sweetheart. I'm too nice. I'm too nice.
That's what it is.
Too nice. So Prom2 is saying, because men in the West are turning into enemies fanboys. There are some Japanese fans in Germany. Good, but again, how would I know? if there are.
I have no idea.
If I only had the data,
If
too
only.
bad.
If only
Too
there
bad.
was a Discord that told you exactly how many boxes of a specific Japanese product
There
exist
are
in
every
Europe.
day. There was every
Yeah,
day in the market for the past, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months. If only.
yeah.
I think actually, so for older sets, I have 8 months of data. So any set that is 8 months or old, or 8 months or older, I've got data. It's pretty impressive, right? Every day
It's very good.
in the data. Yeah,
Oh yeah, I think
I could have scraped some Tinder profiles someday, but I chose Pokemon
build a bot that does all the work for you.
on Tinder.
On Tinder,
I
yeah.
think I saw. I don't know what. Sorry,
Swipe
it's
right on
it's
everything.
it's degenerating, but I think I saw it. I saw it on like an Instagram reel or something.
But
Can
there's
I
a
say
bot.
Instagram if when I'm on Facebook? Too bad. I'll
Yeah, I'm
get
sure you can. I don't think it's going to be a problem.
pin it.
Pin it right now. Helium said something interesting. He goes, some online shops in Sweden have started pre-orders for Glory of Team Rocket booster box. Guys, please, whatever you're doing, if you're watching this retrospectively,
Japanese.
if you're not watching live, shame on you. But if you're watching this retrospectively, I mean, when is the Team Rocket? The Japanese is not coming out for. I don't think we even know what the cards, the set looks like.
No
Do
idea.
not go and make pre-orders on the Glory of Team Rocket Japanese guys at
Is that financial
155.
advice, Beth?
It's not. It's nothing I say. Listen, guys. By the way, big disclaimer: everything I say cannot be relied upon. It is purely speculation. It is entertainment. I do
Or
not know what I'm
just
talking about.
or just
Everything I
guesses?
tell you about Pokemon investing is not
BS.
reliable.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
bullshit. Yes, and I'm winging it. You know, all of my videos, everything you've ever seen of me online is me just
Full on.
winging it. I don't even
And
script my videos. I just wake up one morning when I make a video. I won't make a video for 2-3 weeks, and then I decide today I'm going to talk about somebody I don't like because they did something, and then I'm going to get shit for it for the next 2 months.
that's
I'm
kind of
still
like
getting,
I make my videos.
and then I make videos about, oh, I think this is a great investment, so I'm going to make a video about it, and
That's
then I
probably
just
why.
do it.
So, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So don't, anything I say is not financial advice because I am the last person on the planet you should ever take advice from for anything, let alone Pokemon investing, right? But but what I would do at this moment in time is I would, if I had a business, I wouldn't be trying to sell pre-orders on Japanese booster boxes for Team Rocket. And if I was a normal, stable, mentally sound person, I would not be putting 155 of my euros into a box for which we don't even have the cover artwork or know what a single card in the set looks like. I think it's a bit of a stupidity that people are actually going out there and putting
I
booster
mean,
boxes up
it's
for pre-order.
yeah, yeah. I wouldn't. I
What
don't
what
think
are we
any.
gonna have next? What are we gonna have next? Black and white pre-order at 200?
But isn't Black and White releasing before Team Rocket?
I don't know what the dates are, bro. Prismatics just dropped. Terrestrial only just dropped. Like
Yeah,
it's the
just.
journey
But
together. Battle partners. It's
but
just out. It's fresh out.
it's good because it opens opportunities for what people aren't talking about. So that's pretty good. You always gotta watch out for opportunities where no one is talking about.
Yeah, but that
So
that
if
works into the past, right? Rather than into the future.
yeah, I mean yeah, I mean if no one is talking about from that one set that is releasing in 25 years from now, probably doesn't mean you're gonna have to buy because no one is talking about.
No,
Uh,
there's
but
a lot of stuff. By the way, is there anything you wanted to talk about? I just wanted to show everybody what a few pickups I've had this month.
oh, absolutely. So let me just have you a bit larger on the screen. No. There we go. Nope.
This one I can't show this one because this is me
Oh yeah.
shilling.
Okay. Wait. There you go. Stage is yours.
Thank you.
And am I frozen? I think no, I'm not. But yeah, people, I truly apologize for my poor internet connection.
It's fine. We know you don't have fiber optic, so it's all
This
good.
time lasted like a 2 minute. It usually lasts an hour, but this time lasted 2 minutes. So no, wait.
So this
Yeah,
is again,
I won't
guys.
make joke of it.
This is not financial advice. This is just
Just
stuff I've bought because I like the art.
yeah, absolutely.
That's a standard cop out for everyone, isn't it? But the
Yeah.
art is so good. I
I
love
just
it.
love it so
Oh!
much. I couldn't care less if it went to 0. I just love it so much. Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We all
You know,
believe you.
I love that card for 12 months, but I never bought it. Now that it's triple the price, I love it. The artwork is so great. You know that Gyarados in the background? You know what card I'm talking about, right?
Yep. Yep.
Ta-da!
Wait, would it just have it closer?
Hold on, it's just too bright. Let me turn down the brightness.
Is it Japanese one, right?
PSA 10 Japanese. Yep, there we go.
Yep. It's a great artwork. It's great artwork.
Great artwork. Absolutely
And
fantastic.
I mean, I think the best part of that artwork is the Gyarados, as a matter of fact.
I do like this card. You know why? When I was doing Whatnot, I ripped this open for somebody. That Scottish lady that bought this card was very lucky. Just one pack.
You know what? We should open some Poly Evolved.
We should. I'm going to show you guys more. Wait, hold on. And I'll tell you guys what the plays are. These are going to appear in one of my more recent videos. But I think Barrett will like this one.
I might know what it is. Oh, wait. Oh, awesome. Is it 10? Yes. 10, English 10.
Come on, bro.
Straight out of Astral.
Straight out of Astral. The way you just said Astral. It's like straight out the ass.
Okay. It's my Italian taking over.
I know. It's funny. It's actually not you that said anything wrong. It's how I heard it.
Yeah, yeah. I'm a nice guy, Bez. I would never.
You are such an amazing person. Did I ever tell you that?
Right. I think you might.
Before I go on to some of the more heavy hitting ones.
Great Tusk. Is it English? Yes. Yes.
It's a 9.5.
Man, you've been spending some cash, man.
This, by the way, is going to go to PSA because I think this will get a 10. Play in mind. It's not financial advice, but BGS 9.5s can regrade to 10s in PSA.
Holy crap. I forgot to talk about BGS.
We'll talk about BGS, don't worry.
I should have probably made a video about it. But yeah, people, if you're not familiar, BGS has landed in the European Union, and it looks like you can submit your cards right now. And they are grading in the EU. Unlike what is PSA going to do, they are grading in the EU. So your cards will not leave the European Union.
All right, guys.
Sorry.
So
2 Tinas.
But they're not. What language is that?
Is it Korean? Japanese? Korean.
No, it's Korean. So Barrett's going to hate me for this because it's obviously not the real thing. However, they're 2 10s and they're sequential sets.
You know what? I have 2 9s sequential English.
Cool.
But I sold one and it's getting shipped out tomorrow.
So 2 10s sequential. I paid very little for these. Okay. Then I had to go for not the real deal, almost the real deal. That's the Japanese version.
Okay. In a 10, obviously.
Okay, in a 10. So I don't know why this doesn't. I can't get it to focus. But anyway, Tina in a 10. I got 3 of them, 2 Korean, 1 Japanese. I've got another one of these coming in a 10 from PSA, by the way. I showed you guys the Magikarp. I showed you the Palkia. I've got more.
I actually got I bought 3 Palkias lately. Sorry,
You're gonna like
3
this one. This one's gonna catch you off guard.
What is it? Celebi? Nice.
So
Nice.
these are like MGC, which is like a UK graded company, bro. These are going to PSA. They're going to get regraded at PSA.
Okay.
I checked these out. I got the guy to send me high-res front and back images, and yeah, they're clean. So I'm going to send these off to PSA.
Awesome.
And I've got some single card plays. I don't want to show that now. And I've got some about. I can't find them for. I don't know where they've gone, but I've got 3 Iron Crown EX PSA 10s as well. So I've been busy this month with.
Yep. Yeah, I can tell. Look, if you want to be more busy, I just you have my bank account details.
Bro, just tell me how much I need, and then how much you need. Sorry, and then I'll
Yep.
send it across. But yeah, I just thought I'd show some of my single pickups. Guys, I'm not a singles type of person. You know,
Everything's going to zero.
everything is going to zero. But
Yep.
I have I'm more of a sealed guy, but more recently I've started looking at singles because I think there is opportunities on some of these. Like the Great Tusk was
I have 2 actually, just raw
20.
ones.
That was 2025.
Pretty good. Yeah,
For
I have 2
BGS
raws.
9 is good. Anyway, did you want to talk about BGS or should I start to?
I mean, I kind of did. So
Should I
here,
talk about
helium.
the prototype beta test cards?
Oh, yeah. Just wanted to read what helium said first. Yeah,
Go for
that's
it.
what that the message that it was sent to him by the website. Keep in mind the price will probably go up. Yeah, that's yeah. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Like probably something you. I mean, is it fair being a store saying that?
Are you asking me?
Yeah. I mean, I'm asking the people that are
Oh,
listening
okay.
to me. I know I'm
Before you was
frozen. You can't see me, but I actually think I'm frozen at a pretty decent spot, to be honest. So if you want to just take a screenshot and I'll add it to my Tinder profile. Thank you, people. Just send it to me on the Discord. I'll add it on Tinder.
Yeah, you guys miss it. Those who are not in the Discord are missing out because I generally happen to sometimes take Barrett's overly emotional, artistic thumbnails, and then I will manipulate them to look like he's telling a story of how his girlfriend broke up with him because he's a mathematician.
Yeah, and yeah, definitely not based on a true story. But
no,
you know what?
not
You
at
know
all.
what? If I'm ever coming to the London Car Show, I'm creating a Tinder profile. Let's see how many matches I get.
I think you'll
And
do
we're gonna broadcast it live to the Pokepean podcast. I swear,
what
I
I'd
swear
love
I'm
to
doing
do?
it.
Barrett, you know what I'd love to do? I'd love to do a table at London Card Show with you.
That would be awesome.
In the summer, we'll bring cameras, we'll bring loads of memory, we'll just do a vendor POV off to investors, the Pokepean investors. And I think it'll just be a blast, bro. Yeah. Where we can just sell some of your Lost Origin blisters.
I was about to say that.
We can sell some of my. I need to get rid of some of these slabs, as you can see. And yeah, man. But I'm waiting for BGS. I can't wait for BGS to open because I think there's a great opportunity there with the grading side.
Yeah.
But I'd love to do a table with you, bro. In the summer, though, it can't be. I hate winter shows. Like there's a European card show. There's a London card show coming. I think in Feb. Is this month?
Yeah, it's probably next week.
I think it's next week or the week after. I can't be bothered, bro. In the summertime, take me out. Have fun. I love it in the summertime, but winters is just like I can't be doing it, man. I like it warm.
It's a good point, but yeah, we'll definitely. I mean, if the moment I hear Lost Origin blisters, I gotta come there. I'm picturing myself.
How much do you hold, bro? How much have you got? You got a lot, haven't you?
Yeah, but not that many.
Relative to the average person, you've got quite a lot.
I mean, yeah, but it's so many. It's like so I've got 7 cases of 16. So
That's a lot. That's a lot.
112.
There's still a lot. Like the average person doesn't have 112 blisters just sitting around in their cupboard. You
Yeah, I
know?
mean, I can think about that. You know what I got in my room here at, let's say, uni?
Yeah.
I just, I like, so I probably think I've got more in cards than anything else in this house. So I got, oh, wait, I probably, yeah, but people don't know where I live. So I got two Tinas, PSA 9 from Current Zenith. I got the Arceus and Dialga, so that's like a total of 800-ish euros, plus the Lugia from Tempest, so that's 120, 250 euros. So that's like, let's say, okay, even. Then the Charizard from Brilliant, so that's like 1,200 euros.
Where did you get those lovely cards from?
I have no idea. I can't remember. Can't remember. Probably Car Market.
Yeah.
And then I got a case. Wait, I got the 48 Fusion Strike sleeve boosters.
Oh yeah,
So
I saw
that's
your video. I saw your video. You did a
that's
you were
another like 500 euros right there.
shit posting. You were just
And I got a case of Poldy Evolved.
what happened to your? Oh yeah, no, your temporal forces is at home, isn't it?
It's at home, yes, home.
You've got more temporal forces than I do, and I've got distribution.
I
I've
mean,
only got 4 boxes of temporal forces.
I
I
mean,
have got some on pre-order. I've got a few more on pre-order, but you know, with Scarlet and Violet, I just couldn't prompt to the average person to 2 cards printed by Pokemon in 2024. That is true. That is true. Well, 2025 is going to be looking like half of that, to be totally honest with you.
yeah.
But yeah, I think I need to change part of what I'm going to do this year is I'm going to look at reining in a little bit of my spending, just because it gets too much. It just gets, there's a new set every couple of months. There's all this different product. I wasn't going to buy any more prismatic, and then guess what? My distro had one of the distros. I've got 3. Okay, they're not the big. They're not. So one of them is not a official Pokemon distributor, but they do get a lot because they're a games distributor. So they get a lot of One Piece, Dragon Ball, Super, Pokemon, Magic the Gathering, etc., etc. They're actually official for Magic. So Pokemon's just kind of like a side thing. Anyway, I was on the phone to my account manager, and she said, we've got the pouch collection for prismatic. Do you want some? We can give you a case, but you're only allowed 1 case. I was like, how many boxes in there? She's like 6. I was like, do you know what? I'll take it. Like right now, just getting any product is what it is.
Yep.
But like, so stuff like that happens where I'm just not planning and end up spending. Like with Fusion Strike, so the single blisters came available on the Pokemon Center. If you're not in the Discord, join the Discord, because a lot of people in the Discord do notify each other about stock in the UK.
Oh yeah,
and
it's very friendly, to be honest.
Everyone's helping each other out.
I guess I'm pretty proud about what it turned out to be. So thank you everyone for joining. I remember when it was like
Barrett texted me a few weeks ago,
3 people,
about a week ago, and Barrett was like, I think I've made it. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, I had to turn my notifications for Discord off because there's just too many notifications. I was like, I was really happy for him, and I was like, wow, man, that's amazing. Because even when I first joined, we'd have conversations, but it was really
quiet,
really, really active. But now, literally, like, if you go into Discord now, there'll be somebody having a conversation, which is great. But yeah, so for example, like, I didn't know Fusion Strike blisters, single sleeves came available on Pokemon Center UK. Somebody posted it, and then I just went in there. I bought four cases worth, which I wasn't planning to do, but I ended up 4 booster boxes worth. Sorry, so I wasn't planning to do that, but not 4 booster boxes worth.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to see someone, I think it's a smart thing. You can always
3 booster boxes worth. Yeah, but I wasn't planning to spend that money.
I mean, you can always use it to fund Tinder Gold. So I can see you swiped.
Unlimited swipes, and then you can see, and you can go back. So if you don't get any matches, you can decide, let me go back and see if I can pick up the scraps.
I mean, in what world will I get no matches? Let's be realistic.
It would be a sad world, Barrow.
Yeah,
It would be a sad
not
world.
not not the one we live in. Uh,
Should I talk
what else,
about?
Bess?
I was going to talk about the biggest Pokemon scam in the history of Pokemon. So obviously,
Yeah,
as we all know, there was the Logan Paul first edition um, case break, which was, I don't know, 3.5 or 2.5 or $3.5 million. And the biggest scam at the moment, which is estimated in excess of $5 million, it could be even more, it could be 10 for all we know, is the alpha and beta, or alpha and beta, as they say in America, the alpha and beta prototype test play cards from 1996. So essentially, they were these cards which were printed on back in 1996 to practice the playing of the game, the card game. So it had some of the sprites on there, the original sprites from I think it was red and blue, and it evolved. So they had the original black and white sort of printed sprites, and then they had slightly more colorful ones. So the water type Pokemon were like a blue, and then the fire type were like an orangey, embery red, etc., etc. So anyway, last year, to cut a long story short, last year they started appearing in 2022 onwards, but last year especially there were a lot of auctions on Golden, um, ZNG Emporium, on all the different online heritage, all these different platforms, auction platforms are selling these, and a lot of them were selling for a lot of money. Now, then apparently, the one of the four creators of the original TCG game, so not Pokemon itself, but the actual TCG, Akabane, Takumi Akabane, had apparently had these, and yeah, it's on E4,
yeah.
but it's also on
You know what?
Pokebeach. If you
If
pull up the
people want to
Pokebeach
read it,
article, huh?
yeah, just share the link if people want to read it. Not
Yeah,
right now, because right now you got to be focused on the stream, mostly people.
yeah, of course. But essentially, what ended up happening was he apparently his representatives has met these higher level buyers who were willing to buy these prototype test cards, and CGC, the grading company, were the people that authenticated and graded them. Right now, some of the original. So look at that Eevee, for example. It's like a Gem Mint Auto 10, and that card is meant to be 30 years old. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that a 30-year-old card can't be a 10, but remember what these were. These were prototype play test cards, so they would have been used to play the game with, right? But to cut a long story short, one of the users on the E4 forums called PFM was quite smart. He got his magnifying glass out, a high resolution microscope, and he manipulated the image of the card in a way where you could see the watermark or a dot pattern within the image on the card itself. And if you zoom in enough, then that pattern gives you the date and time that that print was done. And it turned out that quite a lot of these cards, especially the beta test cards that came out last year and was sold at auction, were essentially printed in the summer of 2024. Now, obviously, a lot of them were being sold at, as I said to you, the different auctions online, ZNG Emporium, Heritage, Golden, eBay, a bunch of different platforms. And obviously, these consignment services were selling these cards, believing them to be authentic, thanks to, obviously, Akabane doing the authentication with CGC and actually referencing these and doing what they call the provenance. So he would have said these are real, etc., etc., and then CGC, went and graded them, put them in slabs, and hundreds of people bought these test cards, and the value of it being, and this is where you can see where in the image, Barrow, if you just go up a tiny bit more and keep going, and if you stop there, no, further up. Okay, there's a small delay. If you stop, okay, cool. So you see these little dots. Those little dots are actually, when you zoom in on the actual image, it gives you a pattern, and then you can use that on the decoder below, and that essentially then would have given you the date, the hour, even the time that that was printed.
Oh yeah.
And it turns out a lot of these were just printed on a Xerox printer, stuck onto a card, and then sold for tens, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. So it's a shame. I mean, I've already made a video on it. It's got a decent amount of traction now, but I think CGC, without saying anything crazily on negative on Barrett's live stream, I think that they could have done more to authenticate this. They are, I mean, in the business of authenticating things, but it seems almost as if they just took Akabane's word for it, that these were original, that they were the real deal from 1996. And CGC obviously, went and then encapsulated these cards, and many people bought them. Some people bought them for thousands, some people bought tens or hundreds of thousands. But I think that ultimately, CGC have to, do what they need to do with the people that have bought these. And I actually feel more sorry for the younger, not the younger, but the not as high-end collectors in the hobby that were trying to get a piece of something that could go absolutely crazy. Because if you think about it, a lot of these collectors that collect these very niche items in the market kind of stumbled across things by chance. So I don't know if any of you have watched Rusty from TCA Gaming. He's somebody I've spoken to a few times. He's not a friend, or I wouldn't say, we're best mates or anything. We do talk. I have had conversations with him about, stuff on Instagram quite a few times. He's helped out with doing, collabs on videos for me. And he's just genuinely a nice guy. So Rusty is somebody that back in the day was buying like uncut hollow sheets, right, from WotC employees and stuff. Now, he never envisaged that they'd be worth millions and millions of dollars. They were obviously legit, because he was able to go straight to the source, for people that worked at WotC at the time. But that was pure speculation, and he managed to get those, and they're worth so much now because it was something from history that is very unique. There are a lot of hollow uncut sheets, but he has got like some of the first. This is not focusing. First edition base set. He's got Jungle Fossil. He's got all of them. Basically, Rocket. I'm sure he's probably got all of the original WotC printed sheets. So, coming back to my point, a lot of people bought these test cards potentially with the thought that they've come across something that's historical within the hobby, that, like the uncut original cards, could be worth hundreds of thousands, if not millions, under the understanding and the pretense that these are authentic and legitimate from the original, one of the original 4 creators in Pokemon. And as I said in one of my videos, I feel sorry for some people. I don't feel sorry for everybody, because ultimately it comes down to money and finance, because those, it wouldn't have been open. So the way even the cards were sold, apparently some of these high-end collectors were at Worlds, and a lot of high-end collectors go to Worlds because they want to acquire the trophy cards. Trophy cards are massive in the hobby with regards to like value, and people spend tens and hundreds of thousands of dollars on trophy cards. So that's the prime location to go to sell these kind of really obscure items in the hobby, would be there. And apparently, Rusty, for example, was approached by a representative of Akabane's, who claimed to have these original test print cards. And the same person apparently introduced themselves as his nephew to somebody else, which is a bit sus. But anyway, to cut a long story short, they were there. And then obviously Rusty did the deal with $90,000 in a hole. Now, I don't know if his particular cards are fake or real, because there are some that are real and indeed were printed in 1996 and are worth a lot of money and very valuable, but a lot of them weren't. So it's a bit of an unfortunate situation. I think a lot of people already know about this, but I just thought I'd touch on it and give my perspective on it, because I think that greed drives a lot of the collecting side of the market. And I just find it a little bit hypocritical when people push this stuff, like it's super rare. It's, there's not much like it, etc., etc. And ultimately, they're like, well, but I just want it for the collectability sake, because, it's just so collectible. There's nothing like it. It's so unique. But we all know what it comes down to at the end of the day, and it comes down to finance and money. And not everybody has the opportunity to be able to make. So like the stuff that me and Barrett do, for example, these cards that I showed you, the Iron Crowns and the gray tusks and the Magikarps in Japanese. We've all got the ability to acquire those at relatively reasonable prices, and there's lots on the market. But these really ultra high-end stuff is restricted to a certain niche within the very, very limited people in the market. And a lot of these cards, before they went to auction, were traded on the back end. People didn't even know that these were being sold and bought on the back end, right? Because you had to be of a certain caliber and have certain network and people around you, have a certain sort of reputation. So as much as I do feel sorry for some people, for others, I think, they were taking a hit that they would be able to stumble across something that could be worth, I don't know, potentially tens of millions had they been real in the future. And it is a shame.
Yep.
But the moral of me telling you all of this is that, don't get shiny object syndrome and collect stuff that can be traced back to a main set or something that is an established part of the hobby. Because the minute you start to speculate just for the fact that you want to make, I'm spitting a lot, you want to make a lot of money, you can make money in other ways. You don't have to go for the super speculative stuff. You can go for main set cards, stuff that we know is already established in the hobby, that's well known, that's well documented, without having to take risks for hundreds or even thousands of euros or dollars or pounds, hoping that you're going to hit the jackpot. Because the reality of this is none of us are really going to become overnight millionaires investing in some cardboard. It could happen in 10, 20, 30, 40 years time, but the reality of the matter is it's just not going to happen overnight, and it's not going to happen on the back of just one or two buys. It's going to be a long-term cycle of buying, investing, selling, reinvesting, selling, and then waiting. I mean, even people that bought vintage stuff might not be millionaires, even if they've got multiple old vintage boxes in pristine condition.
I
just keep that in mind.
Yeah, to be honest, I genuinely thought the moral of the story was just don't buy expensive cards, just get Tinder Gold. But I think your moral of the story is actually pretty decent as well. I'll say that.
Yeah, no, look, the thing is, we don't know who's going to be watching this, and we don't know who at what point is going to come across something in the hobby where they think this is the next best thing. Because the thing is, the worst thing about all of this, Barrett, is, and I'm not going to mention names, specific names, but there were some really well-known, respected creators in the hobby that are known for high-end collecting that were talking about the authenticity of this product, how they were real and they were very special and they were a piece of history. And what that does is the average person that doesn't have access to this kind of knowledge and information will just take that on face value and go, oh, I see there's a prototype beta gamma, delta test card on eBay, and it's only $2,500. I'll buy that, because even if that turns just in 5 years' time, if that's worth 10 times, 25 grand, that's a pretty good return, right? But they've just wasted $2,500 on something that's basically just some guy printed it from a shop down the road in 10 seconds and cut it and chuck it on the back of a card. So it's just for that reason, man. I think that just invest in the stuff that you really know and can identify. And then if you do have any spare left over, put it on Tinder Gold and get...
absolutely. Finally, we're talking. Now we're talking. God.
Is there anything else? I don't know why I bought this Logitech Brio. It's meant to be a 4K webcam. It does look better than my old webcam. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it looks good. It could also be like so with let's say the poor version of StreamYard, which is what we have, we can stream up to 720p.
It could be that. It's just the autofocus is a bit terrible. Sometimes it goes out of focus and then it comes back in.
You look handsome. You look handsome, man. Just you're not quite to my level, but
I've got too much facial hair. That's the problem.
But, just gotta shave, man.
No.
Shave.
This is never going. Do you know how long my beard was before I met you, Barrett? It was down here.
Really?
Yeah, when I used to stream on Whatnot, there was another guy called I can't remember the guy's name. He was another guy, English guy, really big, tall, like massive guy. And his
Okay.
beard was that big, and we'd always be like, we'd always have jokes. So when we used to go to like the London Card Show, then, or if Whatnot was sponsoring a show, I would go sometimes. Creators would go, and then we'd do live streaming there, and we'd always argue about who had the best beard on Whatnot. um, it was long. My beard was really long at one point. It was all the way down here, but then it just became too much to maintain, man. If I was living in the
Basically, my
mountains,
hair.
we would basically like your hair on my chin. Yeah.
Yeah, man, that's me heavy. Must be heavy. Yeah. But what
We've
else?
still
What
got,
else have we?
I can't believe there's still 11 people here. Oh, let's talk about sealed. I'm buying sealed. Like, all I'm gonna buy is, as I said to you, I got some prismatic, the pouch collection. So it's like there's like an EV pouch, and then you got 5 packs in there. I think I picked up a case of that, 6 of them in a case. I got. Oh, by the way, let's talk about Journey Together. So confirmed by my distributor in London. Well, not London, in the UK. There are going to be enhanced and standard booster boxes in Europe, as well as the UK, by the way.
Okay. So we're gonna get enhanced booster boxes in the EU. Is that what
no,
you're saying?
no.
Oh,
So
there aren't.
there will be some, but I've been told that the enhanced booster boxes are for play stores. So stores that are registered for Play
Okay.
Pokemon will get enhanced booster boxes, but and by and large, most of the booster boxes that you will get in like big box retailers and places like that are going to be non-enhanced. They're not going to have a promo in them.
And the only difference is basically the box topper.
Yeah, it's basically the box topper, the ends
And
Reshiram.
it'll But what I was thinking,
And my distro can't even tell me what I'm getting. So I've already made a pre-order. It's only a very small amount, by the way. If you guys join the distro, join the Discord. By the way, guys, we post stuff like this. So people that buy on a so I talk about Pokemon investing all the time. You can't see 20 boxes behind me, but trust me, I buy a decent amount. Like there's guys that buy way more than me in the Discord, by the way. But you can actually see what we talk about is the proof is there, but you have to be in the Discord to see, because we post our pictures when stuff arrives. The DHL trucks are turning up, and we've got cases lot. And trust me, there's people with their entire living room is just Pokemon product. But what was the point I was making? I can't even remember now. But yeah, sorry. So with Journey Together, I'm getting a very small amount, and they've told me already that they're not guaranteeing. They don't even know whether it's going to be enhanced or non-enhanced. So the standard or with the promo, I don't know.
Interesting.
So, but I'll only find out when it turns up.
I wonder if the Ant Reshiram is gonna be just exclusive as a box topper, or if it's gonna be in the set. Because I mean, what's the point in putting in the set if it's a box topper?
I think it's just gonna be a box topper, bro. I don't think it's gonna
be expensive.
Set card. Yeah.
You know what that means?
Is it going to be expensive if there's one in every enhanced box? Because there's one guaranteed in every box.
Yeah, but
whereas if it's a set card, is it guaranteed in every box? Probably not, because it would be an SI. It would be an SIR, wouldn't it? If it was.
No, IR, illustration rare.
It would be an IR. Okay.
You know what? Let's just buy the Japanese one.
Yeah, I'm just gonna buy the Japanese. I'm gonna buy.
It's actually pretty expensive. So it is pretty expensive in the EU. In Japan, it's I was seeing it was around 2,000 yen.
2,000 yen. Okay.
Which I believe 2,000 yen is about 11 to maybe somewhere between 12 to 15 euros. Can't remember.
Yeah. So Helium, it will be exclusive to only the enhanced booster boxes. So there's 2 types of booster boxes. If you're in the US, don't worry about it. You're probably going to get the booster boxes are going to have, the booster boxes are probably all going to have promos, the Ends Reshiram promo in there. Now, the one thing about promos, by the way, is that they are not always easy to grade. This is another reason why Barrett's saying that they could be worth a lot. Although there's one in every box, they're going to be in plastic. They're going to be moving around in there. They're not going to be in a pack. likely not going to be in a pack, so the edges are going to get weared. They're not going to. They generally shouldn't grade very well. So that would mean that 10s would go through the roof, right? Because they're just not going to be in as good condition. But I would say if you're in the US, don't worry about it. UK and Europe for sure. You're going to have two versions of the booster boxes. The enhanced version will have the promo in it. Everyone will have one promo in it. And the non-enhanced will be the same box, just no promo. And then LM, you asked, is it the same as the ETB promo? It's not. In the ETB, you have ENS Zoroark. So you've got
Zora.
Zorora, sorry. ENS Zorora. I can never say the name.
Zora. Z-O-R-U-A. Zora.
Zorua.
Yeah, I can tell you're not a black and white guy.
I'm not. No, there was a time there was a gap in between, sort of like Diamond and Pearl, Ruby and Sapphire, Black and White, that sort of era. I wasn't around. I'm not going to pretend like I was. But prior to that, all the way up to like sort of maybe Legendary, just before Legendary Collection, I was in and out, and then I sort of returned sort of on the back end of Sun and Moon around Cosmic Eclipse time.
Yeah.
Box shop should be worth at least the value difference between enhanced and normal. Yeah, of course.
I like the thinking.
Yeah.
Yep. At least. I like
especially
like the at least.
Yeah, 100%. It needs to be. I mean, because there's going to be, especially in Europe, there's going to be a premium. Like if I was selling the product, I would sell the box topper, and I'm going to get very little of the enhanced booster boxes, and I'm going to get a bunch more of the non-enhanced booster boxes. You know, if I've got a business to run, then I would want to sell the enhanced booster box for slightly more, maybe not crazy amounts more, but you know, there would have to be some kind of. If I've got 500 of the non-enhanced and then only 50 of the enhanced boxes, I want to try and make sure that on balance I make more on those ones because there's a lot less of them. So yeah, the price difference on the promo card should be whatever the difference is between both boxes.
What else? Is it bedtime?
Yeah, I think it's bedtime. We've dropped down to 6 now. I don't know if there's one more there from. No, there isn't. Paid. Helium said I paid €210 for the enhanced. And 140 for normal, so it's worth at least 70 is quite steep, I'd say. But I mean, what's steep? That's very subjective.
I mean, with this logic, it should be more expensive in the EU than the US.
I mean, I've got an enhanced. I'm getting an enhanced from Pokemon Center.
Yeah. So I guess there's only one way to find.
I was going to cancel that pre-order. I'm not going to do it now. I'm going to keep it until my distribution comes in. And I'm just going to keep the Pokemon Center one anyway. That'll just go straight into the sealed collection. And then if the other two do happen to be enhanced. So from one distro, I've got 2. The other one just sold out instantly. So sold out to pre-order. So I got 2 Pokemon Center ETBs, 2 normal ETBs, and 2 booster boxes. 3 booster boxes, because there's 1 Pokemon Center booster box as well as 2 from distribution. So I'm just hoping the ones from distro that come through are going to be the enhanced ones.
Nice.
And if they're not, I'm just going to rip open a box. I don't care.
I got none, which is fine.
I'll send you one.
I'm not in a rush.
If I get enough, apparently there's not a lot of stock. The stock is looking, bro, like. There was more Surging Sparks than this. Do you know that? I think Rudy spoke about this in his video as well. There was more. I remember with my distro, you could find Surging Sparks it sold out pretty quick. I'm not going to lie. But that was available for a longer period of time than Journey Together was.
You know what? And I think we're going to end it with this. Imagine a world where, so my thinking is, if they don't reprint SV sets, I mean, it makes sense to reprint them after the year ends, because apparently there's going to be a 1-year gap between one era to the next one.
Yep.
Correct me if I'm wrong, or if you just
I think
no.
you're right.
So it makes sense to just reprint the sets. I mean, the in-demand sets within that year, which is going to be 2026. So next year.
Yeah.
But I mean, to be honest, stock levels right now are pretty low for any SV set. They're pretty low. If you compare it to Sword and Shield, they're very low. And one great thing is if you take all those sets that were so cheap, so people would just open them because they were so cheap. It's just so good for I guess boxes. Plus, I can say this because there's not many people, but we should probably talk more about it on the Pokepean podcast. So they're, let's say, pretty reliable rumors saying that in the EU there are mass openings of SV boxes that are acquired at nearly production cost. So no distro cost, production cost. They get open and people sell the singles, which explains why you can find sellers with like 20 copy of Iron Crowns. Okay. So the source is pretty reliable. Apparently, I mean, source shared picture in a Discord, in an American Discord, of let's say like a several copies of the same card for many different cards, and mentioned about these mass openings. But I think it's pretty interesting because also, I mean, let's say like if you have like, so I've seen in the markets like multiple people's having like 12, 18 copies of, let's say, Roaring Moon from a Paradox. So multiple people means, let's say, 3 to 4 sellers. So that's like 50-ish copies. You know how many packs you need to open to get 50 copies of Roaring Moons? A lot. So that's good. That's very good. So it would also explain the kind of shortage of supply.
That is interesting, but the question then, the question then goes as
be underestimating. I don't know, but I think it's just interesting.
it is. The question though is then where are they getting these cards from? Where are they getting these packs from? Because you can't have them from distribution at that point, because that's
no.
You'd have to be second in the chain after the Pokemon Company International.
No,
so are they getting it? Is whoever's doing this getting it directly from Pokemon, back channeling through the back door?
So rather than Pokemon,
that sounds so bad.
Pokemon have companies print their cards, so it's possible they just get them from the, let's say, printing facility. So the printing company.
Bro, if that news comes out, then that's gonna be a big story.
I mean, to be honest, I don't know if it's pretty common, but even like sharing these things on the public Discord,
bro, I've heard, it's risky business, bro.
I would understand why people would do that.
I know, bro. I've heard, and I know I'm not. All right, I don't mind a little bit of a conspiracy, right? But I have heard from certain people that there are people within the Pokemon Company International or certain parts of the organization that supply directly to these people as well. Literally, there are apparently there are rip and shippers out there big enough that are literally getting them at what the distribution would get it at.
Or just teeny tiny fish.
Yeah, whoa, like when I think
sharks.
Well, when I think about it, bro, like look at just somebody that we all know. Look at Rudy, and look at what the guy has just sitting in a warehouse. I mean, we We only see the Pokemon, bro. The guy has got Flesh and Blood, One Piece,
Oh, and
Magic,
Magic is the
Magic.
main
Bro, he
position.
has got so much.
But you know what?
Like
I was
we are like a drop.
Yeah, I was bored and depressed. So, great time to watch some old Rudy's videos.
I love his old videos.
And it was saying back in like a few years ago, not even so long ago. So, I remember in saying probably like 4 to 5 years ago, it was pouring like around 30,000 ish dollars a year into Pokemon. So, not that much. Then a few years later, it went to 1 to 200,000. And now we are in the millions. So it basically goes to say that he gained confidence. It's going to be interesting to see if it was right. But man, that man is sitting on like so much Sword and Shield.
Yeah, bro. I mean, he said it himself, and he doubts that there's anybody with anywhere near a position as he has, a position as big as he has in Sword and Shield. And it's funny because, you know, Helium. Do we know that the no? We don't know, bro. Like that's speculation, isn't it? We don't really know. We're not in touch with organizations like that, so I wouldn't know. I wouldn't be able to confirm yes or no,
No
and I wouldn't
comment.
like to. I wouldn't like to speculate if it does exist, because those are people you don't mess around with. Um, but yeah, it'd be interesting to see Rudy 10 years from now, and see how all the Sword and
Yeah.
Shield played out, because he was being. I understand. I understand what you're saying, Helium, but trust me, I value my health. I don't want to talk about certain people online. Um, and I'm sure these things happen all the time in different parts of the world. But no, but I'll be very interested to see how all this pans out for Rudy, because I think his Sword and Shield position is, unfortunately for him, because of his success, and I'm sure he probably still is, even when it comes to Scarlet and Violet, has huge amounts of inventory. Like we know he's got minimum of 1,000 boxes of everything in Scarlet and Violet. I think in Scarlet and Violet he upped it, didn't he, to 2 to 3,000 boxes per set.
Oh yeah.
But the fact is that people have been able to see his success on Sword and Shield and prior to Sword and Shield, and they're now trying to emulate the same thing with Scarlet and Violet. So he's got more competition, because there are whales out there. There are people with a lot of
Oh yeah,
money.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Barrett, should we call it a night? I'm tired.
Yeah, I agree, Bess. People,
Appreciate it.
thank you all for joining.
Thank you all for
We
joining.
will see you.
Make sure you, before you leave, you dirty beanbags, subscribe to the Pokepean podcast. Link is down in the description. If you do not join, then I don't care, but you should join, because if you do join, I didn't plan any of this, but if you do join, you learn a lot, and then you get to see our two beautiful faces on there as well. But yeah, make sure the link's down in the description. Join the Pokepean podcast, where you're going to catch me and Barrett live every other week, maybe sometimes twice a week on there. And that's it.
Yep. Hopefully I won't be frozen. I promise. But thank you, people, for joining us, and leave a like to the video if you liked it. If not, my apologies.
Slap the like button really hard, and then fly kick the subscribe.
God. All right, people. It's been
Spit
real. No. We're ending it. We're calling it. Have a great Sunday,
Bye.
Monday. Have a great week, everyone. I'll see you. Thank you, Bess, for joining us.
Good night.